What's up, guys? Let's talk frames this morning. I Headfog has commented to me that I should look into getting the BQE 3AF frame, and I looked at it and I really like that frame, but there's problems. And Chris Miller has suggested that I get the Apex frame, 3-inch Apex. That frame just really doesn't fit what I'm looking for. And I was going to get the Gecko, the Armatan 3-inch Gecko. First, let me start by saying I have fixed my 3-inch that I broke the other day. I gave it a splint. Let me see if I can show you here. This is it. And let's hit it right. I don't know how to do this. I don't know if this is going to show up because I ain't got good light in here. But if you look on that arm right there, it's double framed right just on the arm. It broke right at the motor screws. So, and what I have done is put a splint on it. I had some extra arms from another drone that was no good. I chopped them off and I added an extra arm there and just taped it on, and then put the longer motor screws in. And I fixed this motor too. This motor was messed up, and but what it was, I thought the bell was bent, but it wasn't the bell. What it was the where the motor goes in, where the screws go in here, it had bent those up a little bit and it was rubbing the bell. So I was able to fix it, and it's perfectly fine now. So I've got this fixed, and I'm going to start back flying it today. But what I wanted to talk to you about was, I hadn't made up my mind on the frames and on what I'm going to get, because I really like the way this H-frame flies. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. Notice how this frame, now I've added this piece here, so this piece don't come on it. That's just to protect my thing. But if you see these back arms, they're connected, directly to the back of this main plate, at the very back of it. And the front arms are connected to the very front of it. So even with the GoPro on there, nothing sticks out very far past where the motors are. You see here. You see what I'm saying? None of the weight sticks out past where the motors are on the arms, which gives it a really good flight characteristics. Really good. Okay. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is when this main part of the frame extends out way past the arms, and you got weight on it out here like a GoPro or a battery, and toward the back, you'll get this funny flight characteristics where it wobbles, especially like when you're not going all that fast or whatever. Or if these arms, even on this little drone here, if these arms came in right to the center of this frame and went out, then it would be pivoting on this, and it would give it them wobbles. That's what I'm trying to say. You can take any drone and tape a rod to it or something, or a stick or something now here, to where it sticks out past the drone, and then put just a tiny weight on it, and that little bit of weight will give it this wobble. It throws the center of gravity off so bad that just messes everything up. Okay, here are the three frames that I'm looking at. This is the BQE 3AF, or whatever you want to call it, that was suggested to me, and I really like this one as far as it's got a 4mm bottom plate, and it's got real beefy areas around where the motor mounts here on the arm. So that's usually where your little smaller quads break. If you look up here on the one that I have, this is my iFlight frame that I fly. Between these two bolt holes right here, this one and this one, it is very little carbon, so it breaks right there. So I like that this one is so much beefier here, and on this quad here too, it's got a lot more carbon, so it shouldn't break. This one here though, this is the the Gecko. It only has a 3mm bottom plate. This one has 4. This one up here had a 3mm bottom plate. I like everything about this quad here that was suggested to me. Everything except one thing, and that is the arms. They go in so far into the frame sticks out so far past where the arms connect. It gives it that wobble I was talking about. I've watched many videos this morning, flat videos on it flying, and they all have the same problem. If you watch close, they have this sort of wobble to them when they slow down, where they're coming in and try to pull up and stop right quick or something, or do little maneuvers. There's this wobble, and I believe it's got everything in the world to do with it sticks out so far past the arms. And then if you've got your battery back here and a GoPro up here, all the weight sticking out past this arm is going to cause that. Now this one here, it's made similar to that too. It's not quite like this one up here, but it's closer to this one. And when you watch the videos on this one, it flies just like this one, real smooth. My GoPro mounts right here on this upward tilt of this eye flap, and the GoPro will also mount the same way on this Gecko. It mounts right here, it bolts right here, and then it clips on right here. So your weight's pretty much right out from the arm here. So I hate that that this is not 4mm bottom plate, but at least this has a lifetime warranty, so if I break it I can get it replaced. Where this one over here is like $20 cheaper, but it's got a lot thicker bottom plate, but it doesn't have any warranty. And I'm pretty rough on quads, so I'm liable to break it. So I still haven't made up my mind yet, guys, but I would be very disappointed if I bought this one and got it home, put it together, and went out and flew it, and it had them wobbles, and then I would be disappointed, because I want something that flies smooth. And since I can't get this frame anymore, this is going to be my best option, I think. I'm curious as to what you guys think. If anybody else has any more ideas on a good frame. It has to be something similar to these though. This right here would be the perfect quad if they would just make the damn thing with a 4mm bottom plate instead of the 3mm. I don't know, guys. I hadn't made up my mind yet, I don't guess. Keep sending me comments and suggestions, and give me your thoughts on stuff. And because now that I got my 3-inch fixed again, maybe I'll be able to fly it more than 8 days before I break it again. So I got a little time before I have to order me a frame. Alright guys, take it easy, and I'll see you on my flight videos after a while.